Good evening, guys. Thank you for making the session. So, my name is Abubakar Nur Khalil. I run a Bitcoin VC called Recursive Capital, where we invest in Bitcoin companies with a specific focus on the African continent. I'm also a Nigerian Bitcoin core contributor, as well as writing bylines for Forbes. And I'm also one of the board members of BTrust, where the initiative is specifically around training developers through a program called BTrust Builders, meaning making Bitcoin African developers from zeros all the way to heroes in terms of contributing to the space, as well as just giving out grants to these developers. Now, it's no surprise that there are issues with regards to the global financial system. We could go on, but just to give a few highlights from my home country where I live, in Nigeria. Last year alone, we had a crisis, both as a result of a new administration coming in, economic challenges from double-digit inflations to the point where we have 4 instances of our national currency, the Naira, where we have the Naira from bank accounts, which is a separate Naira, 2 types of the physical instance of the Naira, the old notes and the new notes, as well as the CBDC, which some bankers will have you believe that is working, but I can tell you from first-hand experience that nobody accepts it at all. So we've gotten to a point where there's no fungibility in a national currency. We have a food crisis. We have individuals earning in a currency that is constantly being devalued over 70% in the last 3 years, to a point where on the 27th of May this year, 1 Satoshi was equal to 1 Nigerian Naira, which is insane to say. So that's to say, fine, it's all dark and gloomy, but there's hope with regards to Bitcoin. It has introduced an opportunity for people to be banked on Bitcoin, or as I like to call them, the Bitcoin banked. However, I think there is an issue with regards to the current instance of onboarding Bitcoiners, or just Bitcoiners in general with regards to tooling. We have a dichotomy, in my opinion, where you have self-custody that allows for individuals to, yes, have the best experience with regards to Bitcoin in terms of protecting their money, but at the same time, they lack rails that are not necessarily geared towards the Bitcoin ethos in terms of allowing for KYC, AML. And if you're looking to have the most amount of freedom, you'd have to go on the custodial services, which is not ideal for Bitcoiners. So I believe to address that, we have to work around making self-custody the primary means in which people access Bitcoin and ensuring that we specialize specifically on no KYC P2P bridges. Now, instead of just identifying these issues, I felt as a developer it was incumbent upon me to highlight these problems in a physical manifestation, which is Vault, which is a wallet that I've described as a financial freedom wallet, to issue a new class and a new era of Bitcoin wallets that are geared towards what I'd like to say 3 focuses: privacy, self-custody, as well as a really sexy UI. In terms of the technology that allows this, we're at a stage where I feel we have a lot more Bitcoin tech available, such as Bolt rings, Bolt cards, the Lightning Network, as well as the Breeze SDK. And to make this vision come true, I decided to leverage on these tools, all the way from the Breeze SDK, which allows for internal swaps right now, as I'm talking, within the app itself, in terms of on-chain and Lightning. You're able to receive Bitcoin through the Bolt cards, all of that. And the idea is to test case all the current tech that we have in a really, really consolidated form for users to not necessarily have to go through the whole process of onboarding and understanding that, oh, this is self-custody, that's not blah, blah, blah. So the idea is to make sure we usher in a new set of Bitcoiners who have privacy and all the things that guarantee the actual use cases that we talk to them about with regards to Bitcoin. And it's not just a case where I build code and then closing it out to the world. I believe in, to make it congruent with the ethos of the general space, I decided to open source this code. And for all those who want to be early adopters of this wallet, you can scan the QR code. It'll take you straight to GitHub to download the app. And on closing, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Alex and the HRF Foundation for making this possible. And with that, I'd say, welcome to the new era of Bitcoin wallets. Thank you.